people and created great wealth for the country. Divyank Turakia, the co-founder of Directi Group, is one such example. Let's meet this young entrepreneur from Mumbai and get the treasure out of him.
Hi, this is Divyank Turakia. I am the co-founder of the Directi Group. Basically, I'm just about to discuss a little bit about how I started up this particular company in this particular group. I was very entrepreneurial growing up. By the time that I was just 13, I was selling computer projects to other school students within my school. I had a keen interest in technology since I was really young. I loved technology since I was in my 4th standard. I also loved business. I used to read a lot. I was an avid reader. I used to read all the kind of books that I could get my hands on. These could be business books, time management books, business management books, biographies, fiction, non-fiction, and so on and so forth. When I was 14, I started freelance consulting for large corporates. This was around the time that the internet had just come into the country, and I was consulting various corporates on how they should set up their websites, assist them in doing so, how to set up their intranets, figure out the security permissioning for their intranets, and so on and so forth. I did that for 2 years, and that's the time that I realized that if I want to build a business that's extremely big, then we need to focus on volume-based web services as compared to building custom products or custom services or providing custom services to various customers. So the idea was that our products and our processes shouldn't change whether we have 10 customers, 10,000 customers or 10 million customers, which is why when I was around 16, what I decided was we should start up with providing web hosting and domain registration services to a global audience, because these were the basic set of services that anybody who was going online would require. So we started building software products which would enable people to host their sites, which would enable people to manage their email, and then we started building this in a larger scale over time.
Divyank got rolling in his teens and he has been picking up speed since, and there has been no looking back.
When I started out by borrowing 25,000 rupees from our father. This particular business was co-founded by both me and my brother, and we started as a 2-people business. Then in the first month itself, we managed to generate adequate amount of revenue to return that 25,000 rupees that we had borrowed, and what we had used that initial capital for was to pay for the server lease rental for providing the hosting services. With the 40 clients that we managed to add in the first month itself, we basically had adequate amount of capital to sustain the company for the next 3 months. And from there on, what we've seen is we managed to grow the company using internal revenues only, and have scaled this year on year. What we did was we took that 2-people company with X amount of money, built it and started scaling it. Every year we've scaled the company by at least 100% or more. And at this point of time, after 10 years, we've got about 600 people working with us.
Turakia became a millionaire at 18. Today he oversees the global operations of Directi and directs the development of several product lines.
So what is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is all about running your enterprise, running your own business, or running your own venture, or running your own business unit, and doing it all by yourself. As compared to taking a job with some sort of a company. I think there are significant number of advantages that exist as far as being an entrepreneur is concerned. For instance, being an entrepreneur allows you to take a lot more decisions than what you would take by picking up some sort of a job in a regular company. I think the biggest advantage obviously is that success is in your own hands and you define your own ability to grow as compared to external variables. Also, if you look at the opportunities, and how you can utilize the opportunities that come about. Being an entrepreneur gives you access to utilize your own skills, your own knowledge, your own creativity, your own talents in a much better fashion, and exposes you to several things within which will allow you to grow a lot more. Also, I guess another big advantage of entrepreneurship or of being an entrepreneur is that if you're really good at what you do, then the upside is extremely big. Also, one of our business units, which is our online advertising business unit, Skenzo, has been on the red herring list for being amongst Asia's top 200 private companies. The primary differentiator and the reason for Directi's success is the factors that attribute to that success are: one, we hire the best people. What we do is once we get people in, we try and provide them with tools and the training and the knowledge and the ability to get stuff done, and then leave all the decisions to them. Because once you've got good people working for you, automatically it means that the probability of success has substantially increased. Authority in that sense at Directi is decentralized. Everybody is allowed to make decisions on their own. Everybody is given adequate amount of information to make those decisions in a fashion that allows us to continue to grow ongoingly, because decisions are not made by a few people, decisions are made by just about everybody.
He was nominated as one of the Asia's top 25 under 25 for 2007 by Business Week magazine.
I think the biggest challenge that we faced since the time that we were a startup, up to the point of now that we are a large MNC with offices in multiple countries, with customers in multiple countries, is finding the best talent that exists. As I have reiterated in the earlier discussions that I've had on this show, I think it is extremely important to ensure that you have the best of the people working for you. That onboarding the best of the talent into our business, finding them, getting them, keeping them has been the biggest challenge since the time that we were a startup. It was a big challenge back then when we were a 20 people company. It was a big challenge when we were a 100 people company. It continues to be a big challenge when you're a 600 people company. And from what I understand of my discussions with various large MNCs out there, onboarding the best talent in ensuring that you find encourage this particular human capital that you have or talent pool that you have is the biggest challenge, whether you are, even when you become a 20,000 people company. Outside of people, I think the rest of the challenges that exist are you need to ensure that you're ready for scale. You need to ensure that you put into place adequate amount of training processes and testing processes. You need to, if you're looking at accessing a global market space, then there are challenges related to the fact that everybody doesn't speak your language. I mean, everybody in every country doesn't speak English. So if you, for instance, want to access the China market, you need to get a local sales staff there that speaks the Chinese language. Several European countries do not speak English. If you want to access and gain a significant amount of market share there, then you need to make sure that you manage to provide local support.
He credits his family for helping him get started on the right foot. An avid reader, he professes himself as a self-taught person.
I would say both my parents, my mom and my dad, have been extremely supportive of everything that I do. While they've not really been directly involved in the business in any fashion, they've always chosen to stay out of it, which is good and extremely important. The fact that they supported all the decisions that I took, and the fact that all throughout they encouraged me to do what I'm doing, assisted quite a bit. In fact, right from when I was growing up, my dad was a major collector of books. I mean, he used to spend every buck that he made into building this huge library for ourselves. In fact, my home library was larger than my school library, and I came from an average middle class family. So when I was starting out my business, it's not that we had a huge amount of capital that we could put into something that I wanted to start up. So in that sense, access to capital was limited. My advice to fellow young entrepreneurs or people who want to start out on their own is the first step and the most important step is to identify the industry verticals and identify the profiles that you want to work with. It is extremely important that you love what you do. You have to be very passionate about what you are doing on a day-to-day basis. It's only when that passion exists would you keep doing what you're doing. It's only when you're so passionate about something that you're doing, that's the only time when you would face several challenges, and each of those challenges, even if it seems that you've now hit a roadblock, you'd continue trying different things with it. You'd continue trying to see how to make progress and face those challenges, and that's only possible when you like what you do. Find something that you like doing. If you don't know what you like doing, then spend all your time in finding what you like doing, because once you start out 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, going back and starting afresh is extremely difficult and may not even happen. The first few times that you do something, those things will always seem difficult. That's obvious. But obstacles that seem impossible to overcome are always the most fun to overcome. Another thing that you should keep in mind is be extremely nimble to change. Your ideas should change, your business model should change, your industry verticals could change. At the end of the day, change is the only constant in the business world. Keep that in mind. Don't get discouraged by specific events that might take place within your business at any given point of time. Be a people's person. Everybody around you should really like you for who you are. Don't get into politics. Stay as open and transparent as possible. It helps you in every way. Initially, it might seem more easy for you to do several things in a not so transparent fashion, but the idea is, in a long term, it just helps to be right all the time. I think it is extremely important for our generation to realize what we can do for our country, what we can do for the world at large. There are several things that we as individuals can do to give back to society, especially as and when we move up the ladder or up the corporate ladder in any fashion, and as we gain success. At the end of the day, success is attributed to a lot of resources that you utilize off this planet. The idea is to keep that in mind at any given point of time and always figure out how to give back to society. I think one of the things that I would really want to focus on in my life in terms of giving back is education. I think that an educated society can progress far quicker and far faster and far better than where we are as of today's date. If you think about it, I mean, if knowledge is that one thing that nobody can take away from you. If you have money, someday you may not have it because of absolutely any reason. It could be a loss in business, it could be because of some sort of a natural calamity, it could be just some sort of thing that took place because of which whatever you had you no longer have. But knowledge is something that will remain with you for the rest of your life. I think what I would want to do and what I would encourage everybody around to do is try and encourage people to increase the amount of literacy that exists within the various countries around the world. The higher the literacy rate, we'd see lesser wars, we'll see lesser amount of situations where people are going hungry. I think a lot of the global problems that exist today can be solved if everybody around is educated, and that's something that in my life I would definitely want to work towards.
Yuva Bharat team wish Divyank all the good luck and see his companies scaling new heights.